Let's drop degeneration potions. Definitely don't need to hold on to those puppies. And not too shabby. We'll just blow everyone else up. Ooh. Hold up. Back up. Vampiric quarterstaff with Arlek. Meh. But resistance to cold and a bit of intelligence. Don't mind if I do. Definitely throw that bad boy on right away here. And I guess just keep on keeping on. Ooh, +6 Holy Flail is quite interesting as well. And there's the Hydra that we've been dreading this whole time. Let's just throw down a silly amount of ice clouds between us and our new friend. That is beautiful. And then we can just get right back onto the road once more. That's not going to do anything against poison resistant friend here, of course. Whoopsie daisies. That's more like it. Holy moly. You know what, maybe we'll just drop a few things. I'm still carrying around the shield because I feel like I might want to make that swap or start using that at some point. I guess it's a little bit of a tougher sell now that I am using this beautiful new stave, but we'll see if it still ends up coming into play at some point. I'm pretty sure it will. I'm definitely a much bigger fan of using shields than two-handed weapons. That's why gotta love Formicids, because you can have your cake and eat it too in that case. Beautiful. Old Ash was very strong in the right character. Also, another big criticism is that cursing items cost no piety, but uncursing them does cost. Interesting, because yeah, did most of the fork versions of the game kind of take a different approach? Keep Old Ash around, but just alter their abilities as is? This definitely would be an interesting thing to check out at some point in the future, and I'll definitely just hang out on this side of the deep water, and let's just poison the ever-living crap out of every single one of our new friends. Oh, you know what? You, though, might be a small problem. Oh, same with elephants. Can cross the Great Divide here, hey? I guess that makes sense. Fair enough. Should have seen that one coming, but there we go. We are able to take them all out. And I'm tempted to just hang out here. Don't really want them going around. Oh, that dire elephant kind of changes things. Yikes. Oh, I feel a bit more experienced. Still killing things, even as we beat a hasty retreat from all of our new compatriots. Well, hello there. Sure. Do you know what? We'll hold on to a hero just a little bit here as we hit our skill caps as well. Interesting. Do you know what? A bit more ice magic could actually be nice. I feel like we're going to be using Freezing Cloud a bit more often than originally anticipated here. Air level type number 1 and unexpectedly full of heffalumps. Definitely not what you generally expect to see. But Smindo, you've been having a really fun time with talismans and Felix shapeshifters. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out some of the shapeshifter shenanigans. It seems like it'd be really fun. I really want to just try to speed run through with like a troll shapeshifter and see how that goes. Not sure what aptitudes people have across the board for shapeshifting, so maybe that will be a consideration there, but I do feel like it'd be a fun run. You got a kitty home in 16 or so, and you're not looking forward to the RNG handing you another one? Yes, trying to get at least a lair, right? So, you know, not the end of the world. Lair isn't too bad on a cat. Going further is usually where things get tricky, because when you get into the realm of, oh gosh, everything can one-shot me on an unlucky dice roll, generally where I start to feel the burn of Felid. Do you know what? Let's pop into a nice corridor here and use our vampiric stave. Not too bad. -2 is average, you think? Even humans have a -2? Oh, interesting. So just for balance reasons, has to be in the negatives. Makes sense. Need to do something to prevent it from just being the be-all end-all go-to answer, no matter what character you're playing. Learn shapeshifting, which it very much is in the in danger of becoming. Just because transmutations and that kind of thing is so strong. We'll just alternate poison and blowing it up. Beautiful. Do manage to take out our new friend there eventually. And same with you, my beautiful bovine pal. Holy moly. Well, slowly but surely, we're making a dent in things here. Not too bad. And now home a win. Oh, right. I guess you did say home, so my dumb brain just completely ignored that part of your sentiment. But you had 4 wins, all heavy armor monster whackers, and you resolved to play nothing but kitties until you won. We started the RNG to lair 1 after winning every species in God. Oh, nice, yeah. But I guess, yeah, more so than if you get it in the future, you just need lair, right? You've gotten your actual win before, so took you 72 kitties. Jeez. I mean, not doesn't sound too unexpected or beyond the pale there, because I feel like that is the general experience for people with their cats. I don't know how many cats it took us to win during the Great Player Series. I mean, I'll always lord over the fact that we decided to do a 15 rune Felid, and it just worked first try. I mean, that was a few versions ago now, but I'll still take that one with me until the end of days. But yeah, I think definitely took a few cats during the run, but honestly, I don't know if it was as bad as like Deep Elf and Vampire, for whatever reasons, were my 2 worst, I feel, just in terms of overall death count. I could be wrong though. I would have to look back on the series as a whole. But I was thinking maybe we put on this Ring of Intelligence. I don't know if we need the wizardry anymore. Everything is fairly castable here. That gives us a bit more spell power, so that's nice. Jesus, a 15 rune kitty, respect. He did one 15 rune combo first time, but it was a punch pool McLeb. Nice. Was that one before McLeb nerf or after? Regardless, that's such a solid run. I really like punch ghouls. And yeah, I don't know. I like to lord it or lord over the fact that kitty survived, but I don't know if I deserve any credit for doing so. I feel like we got very lucky over the course of that run for sure. It was a wild ride. And I guess Larry mentioned, to be fair, you were less awful at the game after getting a kitty home, right? I felt like I went through a weird curve where I got a lot better just in general with the Great Player Series and playing all different kinds of species and needing to improve my game in that regard. But the last like month of play flies directly in the face of me having learned anything from that series, because I'm just playing majority of the time just awfully, just horrendous. But you're in 0.23-ish, old McLeb, eat chunks, nom nom. Okay, nice. I liked ghouls with chunks around. I felt like I really liked the flavor of that. You know, the chunks and ghouls eating them. Yeah, let's just drop that on you, my 500 friend. Perfect. Luck is never the be-all end-all of a run. You must be good enough to take that luck home, no matter how much or little there was. Right, and yeah, I feel like not even necessarily good enough, but when it comes to a game like DCSS, it's a huge part of it is just playing enough. Because there are so many things that you just have to have experienced before and have to know how to handle it in order to make it through in one piece. Otherwise, you're going to get blindsided by something ridiculous and just get completely taken out of it through no immediate fault of your own, though potentially you can make the argument that not knowing something don't know, is that your fault? Is ignorance the fault of the ignorant? Opening up a bigger can of worms than I was anticipating with that one. But okay, let's drop some poison here, and then 49% chance to paralyze our centaur friend is perfect. Maybe just do the full blender approach here. Get every single element blasting down on that son of gun's head. Beautiful. And then I think it's time that we turn fighting back on. 5 is a bit too low. So let's train that up to an arbitrary 9. Perfect. Maybe a bit more spell casting for some spell slots, as well as just general castability across the board. I don't mind that whatsoever. And last but not least, do I want one of the defensive skills? I could start training armor now. Then we're ready for when we do find that incredible ring mail that I'm sure is just around the corner, that I'm so excited to be able to take full advantage of. At least that's the dream here. We'll see how she goes. And hello, my wolf friend. Goodbye. I guess we'll see you another time, maybe? No guarantee. Wait, is that the same wolf? You had some speed to you, my friend. You were just sprinting around that corner to make it to the other side in time to say hello. Perfect. Sounds like a future resentment. Which part was that? Said no one. Dennis, terrible player, won't get home with the best luck, and the best players get home with the worst luck. But for the rest of us, arranging to find a +8 whip with crazy egos on D4 doesn't hurt. Got a Vine Stalker, Ice Elementalist of Wujian, home with that. Nice, yeah, Drain, Resist Poison, Double Pip Fire Resistance is awesome. Sounds like a future resentment. Oh, the finding of the armor. Yeah, we'll definitely see how it goes. Let's be a little more cautious here, a little more cognizant as to what we're doing. Back away from those death yaks. Just in time to blow them up without a care in the world, of course. Perfect. No, I act as if I should be complaining about that, but I'm more than happy if all of the efforts I go to turn out to be unneeded and useless. Sounds like a dream come true, because then at least we're succeeding, and that's the important part to keep in mind. But it will definitely just keep blasting them. I'm very happy that we did end up getting Freezing Cloud up and running for Lair here. It does make our life so much easier with the Hydras, of course. So that is just lovely to see. Just fantastic stuff. Yay, all my mindless jelly friends. We'll come in here and finish you off by hand. Beautiful. And press all the wrong keys, trying to get that OTR up and running. And that should just about be the end of Layer 4 here. See how it goes. Got the Captain's Cutlass later on, which led to the extremely satisfying experience of lunging with Serpent's Last at Serbov and disarming him before he ever swung his sword. Oh, I do love that. The Captain's Cutlass is a really fun piece of flavorful unrand art. I like the unrand arts that have very unique effects like that. So fun. Just when they do happen to pop off, right? When you do get that capitalization, then it all makes for a wonderful narrative at the end of the day. Well, my friends, let's get as much poison down as we can. Calcifying Dust cannot affect me, right? Get absolutely wrecked as our wings glow large and strong. Like the big boy gargoyle we are. Oh, and hello, Sonia. I'm guessing you have a translocation weapon, or a distortion, I guess, is the correct way to label that son of a gun. So we might as well just get the heck out dodge. We don't have any magic anyway. As long as, oops. Didn't actually mean to go down there, but guess that's fine. Do you have any kind of poison resistance, my friend? Oh, my sweet summer child. Well, Sonia, it's nice knowing you, friend. Actually, sorry, I apologize. That was a little bit of a lie. I never really got to know you, and I don't really care to, because you would send us on a one-stop trip to the abyss there, or I guess a no-stop journey, really, at the end of the day. Not even a layover in Pan on our way. Not very thoughtful of you, my kobold friend. Okie dokie, there we go. I mean, are we gonna bother clearing through the rest of Lair? It doesn't seem like it's gonna be too terrible on us so far, at least. Very ready to be made to regret ever uttering such a thing, but I'm sure we'll be fine, right? What's the worst that could happen? And we'll definitely throw down a nice little Song of Ice and Fire here. Don't need a second wizardry. I think we'll be just fine for the moment here. And if we could get all of you kiddos poisoned up at once, that would be very grateful for that. Please and thank you. Perfect. Appreciate your patience and your candor here as we blast you all into the next plane of existence here. Beautiful. Love to see it. And get that poison stacked up nicely. Man, it's so ridiculous playing a gargoyle after taking a break for a long time. 23 AC and robes. I mean, come on. Doesn't get much better than that, folks. Hey, Brain, how's it going? Hope things have been well with you, friend. Feels like it's been a hot minute. But yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful end to your week here. It's wonderful, almost end to your month even. Holy moly, time has flown by. We're almost at the end of July. What the heck is with that, folks? Staff poison, we can definitely drop. Let's just pick up here. Why do I prefer offline? No major reason. I think largely it's course of habit. I mean, I do like having the inventory UI just because it saves me needing to constantly scroll through the entire menu here, and I can instead get an at-a-glance view. I mean, even people watching, I mean, depending, if you're watching on a phone, resolution probably isn't quite all there, but watching on a decent sized screen, then, you know, you can take a peek and see what I'm completely forgetting to use and make fun of me for it, so that's perfect. And then, yeah, the other part is actually exactly what Ripophalin mentioned there. Feels so much better to play without latency. I think that's why it's, yeah, a huge course of habit where I'm used to not having to worry about that. And I already make enough terrible decisions on my own. I don't need the added layer of complexity that is potentially lagging out when I think I've like forgotten to input something, because it's happened on a couple tournament runs where I definitely assume, oh, I must have missed the key. How could it's definitely user error, seeing as how I make tons of errors over the days. And then I end up inputting like 17 commands by accident. It's a slippery slope. Latency, the crawl server you play on is within arm's reach for you. Oh wow, very, very nice. You're the belle of the ball when it comes to tournament play then. Especially during those times when every server is just being used and abused to its absolute limit. Okie dokie though, it's looking like we're just going to continue to rampage through and finish off layer 5 here instead of coming back at a later date. Well, tournaments would have to run vanilla. Oh, that's a good point. So that's, oh, you know, I should have thought about that. That's your, the fork web server. Do all the major forks have offline or online tiles as well? Or I guess not even necessarily tiles, just online play. I guess that makes a certain amount of sense. Last tourney wasn't so bad. They actually fixed a few things that was nice. So yeah, I unfortunately didn't get as much time to play in the last tourney as I would have liked, so didn't get to experience that in all of its glory, but that's awesome. I'm happy to hear it. I mean, I'd never have too much of an expectation for that to be how it needs to be, because it's a lot of work getting networks prepared to handle larger loads than they normally do over the course of the year. Playing CKO, and it has vanilla and popular forks. Oh, that's neat. That's really cool. CKO and CPO offer the most active-ish forks, so it's yours, B Crawl, Goon Crawl, and B Kraden. Oh, okay, that's neat. Or, sorry, B Kadron. Valfon, you've developed habits around the latency, you guess. You're not sure whether an input happened or not. Tap escape until you see the error message about an invalid keystroke. That's a good point. That's a good way around it for sure. Really, any of the non-registered keys. We're also on CMAO, obviously, and Mantras, which has web tiles. Okay, very sweet. Might try that out at some point, but I'd probably just download the forks and play offline. That's something in general that I've been meaning to fool around with at some point, whether on stream or even just off, to have some fun. And that's to try out some of the forks and see what I'm missing there. Unfortunately, most of them I think still have food, which I've gone fully in the habit of food no longer existing. I do not look fondly on the days of yore when I had to worry about that, but I'm sure I wouldn't have that much of a problem if I actually did it. Just going so long without it, how could I possibly return, you know? Things Helm offers every fork Sentai can make run. Very cool. Ah, and our lovely skeletal friends that we left behind. Probably should deal with them sooner rather than later. I mean, ice isn't really going to do the trick, unfortunately. Even my vampiric staff is not quite as effective as it normally would be, of course. You know, maybe I don't want to fight these kiddos, you know? I've thought about it, and just because it's not fun, not because I'm scared or anything, I think I'm just gonna say nay to you, my friends. Where was our orc entrance? Oh, it was on D12. Interesting. So if we want to head there, we will need to eventually make it past these sons of guns. In fact, especially if they're all hanging out right there. Auto eat and easy, remove much of the pain, but you regret to say, as far as you know, no fork wants to remove food. It's fair enough. And again, I feel like maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill in my head here, and that at the end of the day, it would be nice to go back to that bit of flavor, because I did always enjoy that. Oops, as I get rid of my ice clouds. No good there. Let's just rectify that once again here, and use some like acid on you, my friend. We could try to paralyze you. No, 1% chance. Never mind. I don't think that that's gonna happen. You're experimenting with the B-crawlism that Gourmand heals you on eating chunks, but there are some edge cases. Interesting. Yeah, I'm always so curious what goes into balancing a game like DCSS. I'm sure there are lots of different kind of, not even conflicting. I think conflicting implies a bit too much like opposition in the terms of thinking, but just different perspectives that can be taken on the balancing. So I do love that forks exist and that there are all these different venues for people to experiment with what they think makes the game, you know, interesting or fun. Holy moly. Took a downhill turn real fast. And you can do, yeah, like 37, 36 plus electric. Not great. Oh, geez Louise. We'll just throw a couple bits of acid at you. Not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. But maybe our other friends have walked away. Nope. No, they have not. Son of a gun. Conjure Ball Lightning actually relatively close to castable. That could be kind of fun. Do love that spell now that I've fooled around with it a bit more here. To be honest, I think Vanilla removed the time pressure of out-of-depth monster spawns over time in food, and after a bunch of flailing replaced it with Zot Claw. Which is much the same thing, except that needing to eat in monster spawns are a mechanic you already understand, but you're biased, and to be fair, it seems to work okay in Vanilla. Yeah, that was funny, because I feel like the arrival of Zot Claw was met with a lot of grief, and people really didn't like the idea of it, but you get used to it so fast. And it really isn't a problem. Like, again, unless I'm playing a Meteorin, which only came out recently, I've never really paid even the slightest bit of attention. But I'm also not a super optimal player, so, you know, I'm not doing like stare shouting strats. Say that 10 times fast. And yeah, in my like kind of careless way of playing, does not affect me at all. And besides, it opened the door to Meteorin, which is a very kind of interesting species. Don't know how I feel about them personally, but I do appreciate what the devs were trying to do on that one. Yeah, food is an interesting one, because I did always really like the flavor. I mean, technically, I kind of miss the days when there were all the different types of food, but I know that if I played that now, I would probably hate it the entire time. Man, these kids are not leaving Orc entrance alone. Okay, do you know what? We're not going into Orc right now. Let's just give up on that dream for now, and we'll instead... Oh, do you know what? We have to go up to get to any of our downstairs. Gotta go up to go down, of course. The most classic of fashions here. That's fine. Do you want to go back? Seb's ghost comes into view, slain by an orc warrior. It craves vengeance. Yeah. Oh, well, don't play stout soup. You've got 4 kinds of food. See, but that's almost a reason to play it, because I'm convinced that I might hate it. Mostly just because I'm already terrible at inventory management. Like, in this version of the game where they've gone rid of a lot of the need for inventory management, I'm still just god-awful. But I do kind of miss the flavor. I loved carrying around my pizza, my like 17 to 35 grapes that I'd have to mow down on like 10 of just to go up one of the like status levels of hunger. It was a good time. And actually, I really like the flavor of having carnivorous and herbivore species. Like Spriggans not being able to eat meat was actually kind of interesting.